Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Lynn Wilson and I am here to chat on a Sunday night with many of my viewers that have asked multiple times in multiple different ways the same style question. Now, I am not an expert. I am not a counselor. I don't have any of those degrees, but I'm a friend. How's that? We're just talking friend to friend here. So welcome to my home. Grab your coffee, get your tea, get your lemonade, get some iced tea. If you're going to have iced tea, get your sweet tea. But whatever you want to do, grab, if your house is chilly, get a quilt, cuddle up, get on a nice cozy chair, and let's chat tonight. So I inserted a few pictures of some flowers that are in our yard and even some where I work, just to add some prettiness to the video tonight. So what is the one type of question I'm getting all the time? So let me tell you what I'm calling the video, and then I'll lead into the questions that I get. How to get through change and how to taste life again. So they are the two thoughts that keep coming to mind, and the questions that I'm constantly getting. I get emails all the time, and I get comments, and I can't always it's hard to respond to a comment to you all. First of all, it's public, and I don't want to ask questions or put you in a spot where, it's public. So I try and answer the questions or the comments the best I can in a very politically correct way so that we don't offend anyone. And I don't know your background, I don't know your story. So let's start there. Friend to friend. Even though we're friends, and I know a lot of you consider me your friends because you tell me this all the time, I consider you my friends, but we don't really know each other. Or you know me, I don't know you. Let me take my phone out of my pocket. It's annoying me. You all know me. You know my name. You've been in my home. You've seen my family. We've, talked and I've shared with you. I don't really know a lot of you. Some of you give me glimpses of your life. So to give you advice, it's kind of hard, and I don't really want to give you advice. I want to give you maybe suggestions or scenarios that I do or have been through that maybe might help. So it's really hard to answer those questions when you say to me, I'm paraphrasing. This kind of sums up a lot of the questions. How do I taste life again? How do I get through what I'm going through? I'm going through some pretty tough times. If you saw my video the other day about the blue plate special, what's better than a blue plate special? If you did not see that video, I highly recommend you see that, because sometimes what we talked about in that video can get you over the slump that you're in by doing something for others. That's not always the case, but check that out. But I was talking about a friend of mine that was kind of down on herself, and I gave her a suggestion on how to brighten her day as a single person and to make herself feel special. I was talking to someone else over the weekend, and she is kind of at the same point in life where I am. And it was really interesting. Oh, I get so excited with this stuff. Her and I were both talking, and did you ever talk to someone and you're like, yeah, and you're answering each other's, finishing each other's sentences before they get to finish it themselves, and you're actually saying what they wanted to say, and you're so excited because you're so connected. This is somebody I met about a year ago at an event. We connected in an unusual way. She had moved down to the area. She was looking for something and asked for a suggestion. I was able to give her that suggestion. met her once, completely forgot about her. Why would I remember it was a one-time meeting? A year later, we connected in another event, and it's been amazing because my kids have gotten to know her through chain of events, and other friends of mine have met her through chain of events, and this circle is getting smaller and smaller. Well, we were talking about different things happening in our lives, and her and I have a lot in common. And again, I don't really know her. She doesn't really know me. Sorry for the shadow. Look at that. Ooh, there's shadows everywhere. Sorry about that. But it was just fascinating and stimulating to talk to someone who's enjoying life. And we were both saying how we can taste things happening. We could feel the excitement. We almost felt like tingling. Then I was talking to my daughter-in-law, and she said the same thing. She said, I don't know what's happening. She said, I know God's at work in my life. And I know not all of you are faith-based, so I make no excuses for that, but I understand that you might not be able to fully relate to where we're at, but we can just taste that things are happening. We are excited that there are things happening in the future. We could just feel this stimulation. We can feel this drive. There's this thing stirring up. But I know a lot of you are sitting in a situation, and trust me, I'm a human being. I've been there more times over, where you're stuck in a rut, you're stuck in a place, and after the past 2 years, I don't blame you. You've been hibernating, you've just pulled back, whatever the case might be. You can't get out and about. The list goes on and on as to why you are where you are. But many of you have said you can't get through the changes that are happening in your life. You can't get past certain things. You can't taste life anymore. You're just not enjoying life anymore. Some of you are very fearful. Some of you are very worried. You don't know what you're fearful about. You don't know what you're worried about, but you're just living in that state of worry and state of fear. I don't have all the answers. I said to my husband, I just felt the need to come on tonight as a friend and talk to you. I know some of you have told me you watch my videos when you're down, and you watch my videos when you're fearful, and it just helps you. And so I'm going to prayerfully ask that the Lord uses this video tonight for anyone that truly just needs a pick-me-up. And whatever that pick-me-up is, I hope that this is like the win-win recipe for whatever is ailing you. This is going to be something to give you a boost. Let me just tell you, for those of you that are new, and I'm amazed on how many subscribers I have. I think I only need 50 more subscribers, and I'll be at 6,000, which blows my mind. Many of you might not know. Let me tell you the life that I live in, briefly, to kind of let you know that I don't live in a perfect world. I work full-time. I love my career. I love having a career. But on the other side of that, I don't have a choice. I must work because I'm the only one in my family that is working. My husband is on full-time disability. My husband has epilepsy and seizes sometimes every day, several times a day. Sometimes seizes a couple times a week. Very rarely do we get past 10 days without a seizure. I mean, it's just guaranteed. And I don't mean to make light of it. It's just, it's the life we live. My youngest son is special needs. Autism is one of his special needs, and he has a few others. And for privacy reasons, I'm not going to go into the whole kit and caboodle, but my life at home is a different style home. When I come home, I never quite know what I'm coming home to. Meltdowns, seizures, all the rest. And my dad passed away several months ago, so I'm now helping take care of my mom. So I have an additional family member we're taking care of. So again, my life is not perfect. And there are days that I come home and I'm like, oh, not again. Graham's seizuring, and we've got to go out, and I'm trying to figure out how to make this work. And just so many things happen. And those things can really get me down and have gotten me down. And I've shared those days with you. But how do I get through this? How do I I don't know, I'm just in a stage in life where I'm starting to taste life again. I said at the beginning of the year, I wanted to get through 22. And I really felt that I wanted to get through 22 with success. And I didn't know what success equated. I still don't know. But we're heading into June very shortly, in a couple of weeks. And since January, when I look back, I've had little successes. And you might say this is simple and silly, but I've been able to declutter areas of my home. I have been able to reorganize things in my home. I have been able to create YouTube videos. I've been able to, even at work, I've had some changes. My title has changed. My responsibilities, they have changed based on really my skill set, which is a good thing. We've seen things at church change. I've seen lots of little successes and little things and if you've ever decluttered your home, or you've decluttered a drawer, just a simple drawer in your kitchen, you know how exciting that can be for you. And you're like, oh, it's just like this relief. And I think some of the things that I've done over the past year, the past 6 months, that have really helped me, and I don't know if they're going to help you, but I'm going to throw them out there as just an encouragement on maybe pick one of these things. I don't know. Again, I don't know you all personally to really walk through different situations with you, but here's some things that have helped me. One is I've learned to set boundaries. And you say, well, of course. Now, for me, boundaries, the constant somebody asking you to do something, and sure, no problem. Now I've learned to set boundaries on, I'm sorry, I can't. You can say it gracefully. Or I can't today, but I can do it on this day. Or they're setting boundaries too that I'm just no longer going to allow myself in that situation. We have some family situations. We all have family. We have that side of the family, or those people in the family that can basically suck the life out of you. And we have learned to set boundaries and said no. We have been put in some very intense situations over the past year that we don't agree with, we don't like, we don't feel comfortable with. And I have learned to now say, I'm sorry, but no. And is it easy? No. When you first start out changing and you first decide, you can have people say, well, you've always done this before. Well, yes, I did it before, but I'm no longer doing it now. You have to protect yourself. Your physical, your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual well-being is really, the ball is in your court. You can have friends, you can have family, you can have a spouse, you can have your kids. They can encourage you in different ways. But listen, if you're not drinking enough water, that's your problem. They can't force feed you to drink water. So for physical reasons, you need to drink water and you need to eat healthy. If you're not doing that, that's your fault. That's your fault. You've got to take care of you. Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. If those boundaries are not being set, you're harming yourself. So I think number one is I've learned to set boundaries. Number two is I've just decided, and I sat down and I wrote a list of all the things that were really annoying me in my life. Annoyances. I guess that's the best way to say it. Things I didn't like. Maybe it was a hobby. Maybe it was a place I was involved with. Maybe it was an event we were going to that I'm tired of. I don't even know what. I'm not going to go into that now. But there were a list of things that I wrote down that were annoyances. That junk drawer, that was an annoyance. I wanted to get that done. Even those little successes added up make you feel light, happy, and that you can move forward. I wrote down the things that were annoying me, and then I wrote down some of the things that I would like to see in the future change. And I've decided this year, I'm doing it. I'm just doing it. And I'm not punishing myself that, look, you wrote down 20 things and you've only gotten 2 things done and you're halfway through the year. I'm not doing that. What I am doing is praising myself on the 2 things you did change. You've made a success. You have moved yourself into the next level of whatever that might be. I don't know if this is making sense, But number one, you've got to set boundaries for yourself. You have to set boundaries. Number two, you need to make a list of what is bothering you and what's annoying you. And then you've got to come up with some solutions. You've got to write down things. Well, how can I change this? There's nothing worse than being around somebody that says to you, well, you don't understand my situation. No, I don't understand your situation. I know I don't live a perfect life. And I only share those things with you to say, listen, I don't come home and everything's peachy pie all the time. I know a lot of times we watch YouTubers and you look at their home, you look at their life, and everything about them is perfect. I don't have my eyelashes and my eyebrows done professionally. I don't have my nails done. I don't have the perfect house. I'm not debt-free. We live on a budget. Some days we spend a little bit more than we should, and other days we live frugally. I don't have it all figured out. I'm growing as a person just like the rest of you. But learning to set boundaries, learning to write things down that annoy me, like I can make changes. There are some things that I can't change. If it's a rainy day and it's annoying me, I can't change the rainy day. But what I can change is my attitude. What I can change is if I'm off, I can turn some lights on and make the house bright and cheerful. I could put a movie on or music on that just is fun and uplifting. I can maybe make a pot of soup that's my favorite soup and have something that tastes enjoyable. And I think the other thing I'm learning to do, and I've always known this, but I'm doing it more, is what is going to taste good. Oh, when you have, like, if you're into spicy food and you taste something spicy and you go, oh, that was delicious. Or you love your favorite dessert and you taste that favorite dessert and you say, oh, that tasted so good. Or you tried a new recipe and that new recipe is, oh man, tasted delicious. You need a new recipe for your life. You need to be able to taste life in a different way. You need to find maybe you need to find the recipe you've been using. What are you dumping in that pot? Are you dumping negativity in that pot? Are you dumping doubts in that pot? Are you dumping fear in that pot? Are you dumping dumping your past life in that pot? Are you harboring junk are you dumping junk in this pot? And you're stirring this pot up with the biggest spoon that you have, which is you, and you're stirring yourself up in this pot of what? And that is not a good recipe for life. What you do need to put in this pot, you need to put in some encouragement. You need to put in things that are solutions. You need to put in some new thoughts. You need to put in some positive thinking. You need to put in some changes that you can make in your life. And you're going to say to me, well, where do I start? Again, I don't know where you are in life, but I would start by number one. If you know that there are boundaries that you need to set those boundaries. If you know the things that are annoying you, write them down. Don't just think about it. Write it down on a piece of paper. Get a piece of paper, write it down, what is annoying you. And then next to that, write down some solutions that you can move forward in. Now, you might not have a solution right now for everything, but what you can write a solution down, write it down. And start filling your life with maybe different friends that are positive and encouraging. Maybe what you're reading is very down and serious. Start reading things that are encouraging. Listen to podcasts that are uplifting. Go for a walk and get some fresh air and decide every day for 10 minutes I'm going to walk. I'm going to breathe in fresh air. I'm going to enjoy the nature that God has created. I'm going to listen to the birds sing. I'm going to look at some beautiful flowers, and I'm going to give myself 10 minutes, a 10-minute commercial break that I'm not going to worry and I'm not going to fear and I'm not going to bring all that stuff in my life. Maybe just give yourself 10 minutes a day. You've worked all day. You've got family to take care of, meals to get on the table. Give yourself 10 minutes to get outside. Start filling your life with better things. If you're hanging out with a bunch of people that are downers and negative thinkers, that is not going to lift you up. If you're watching TV programs and the news and harboring all your thoughts into something like that, knock it off. I mean, I'm going to be blunt. Turn it off. Turn it off. If you don't have any uplifting music, listen to praise and worship music. If you need some good speakers and preaching, go on. If you're not, in a regular church, find a good preacher, teacher that's on YouTube or a church online that you can listen to just build you up and lift you up and share hope with you. If you have a good friend that you can talk to and say, hey, I'm really struggling, go and talk to them and maybe invite them over to your house and have a cup of tea with you and say, I really need some encouragement. I've really been down. Do you have somebody in your life like that you could just reach out to? Maybe a family member? Reach out to them. Maybe when they come over, maybe do something for them. Bake them some banana bread or make them some homemade soup. Put it on that plate. Remember the blue plate special? What's better than that? Invite them over and tell them you need to be encouraged, but do something for them as well to encourage them and just get this going. I'm telling you, when you start to make these little changes in your life, you will see a difference. And I know sometimes I move forward and then you fall backwards and you feel like you can't get up again. I'm telling you, look back on that list of the things that are annoying you and the solutions you have and start tasting life again. We only have one life. We only live once. We don't know how long we're going to live. But while I'm here on this earth, I want to taste life in a good way. I want that recipe for life to be as delicious as an ice cream cone, vanilla ice cream with rainbow sprinkles, one of my favorite desserts, or key lime pie with, fresh whipped cream on it. I want to taste life like I would as if I was eating key lime pie. Or if you love tacos and you like spice and you just want that kick in life, find a way to create a new recipe in your life today. I would love to hear from you, whether it's via email or via a comment. Thank you so much for all your wonderful comments. And I just really feel like I need to encourage someone out there tonight to say, you can do this. You can make a difference in your own life. Don't wait around for someone else to make that change in your life. Your life depends on you. And if you're sinking, the only one that's going to save you is yourself to get you out of that slump. Thanks so much for coming over. And don't forget, I'll see you all on the next video.